Hey, it's Jessie from Peach Manifesto, and today I'm showing you chrome stamping. So I started off with some pre-painted pop sticks just to save a little time in this video, and they are tacky. Now, you do want to use something with a tacky finish, and then you can just like wipe off the tacky layer. It's really important because otherwise the chrome will stick to the tacky layer. And the reason why you don't want to use a tack-free or a no-wipe color is because then the chrome will just stick to that. So just make sure you've really got all the tacky layer off. You don't see any kind of that showing through. Now it's really important to kind of have everything all set up in front of you and ready to go because it is a pretty quick process. It's not that hard, but you just want to move quickly. So I'm going in with my Sally Hansen Hard as Nails Black Heart, my favorite black stamping polish, and just doing my quick swipe and onto the nail. Now, as soon as I'm done, I don't even swipe my stamper. I just go straight in with the chrome because you kind of want it to be that little bit wet still, but it's the really quick drying polishes that just chrome up so stunning, and I just love the way it looks. So I was really inspired by Jessica Briermoon on Real World Nails here on YouTube to try this, and yeah, so I'm gonna give her the credit for this one, but I went with it and I've just been like chrome stamping up all my clients. So I decided to try this one pigment. This one is from AliExpress. The other pigment was Wildflowers Chrome, and this one's just like an AliExpress one. And I did use this one on a client fairly successfully. So I tried it with this method and it just kind of stained the nail. So I think that like this lighter nail just wasn't really going to work. I mean, I did get it to work with my client, but I did it over a buffed nail and it still stained a bit, but I was able to kind of go in with a micro swab and kind of clean it up, and the client wasn't that bothered by it, but I was really determined to try and make this work. So I went in with my Luxio top gloss and over top of this, and it has a tacky layer as well. I removed the tacky layer really well. And then I decided to try and stamp again. And the reason why I went with this kind of like lighter brown stamping polish is just because on my client I had tested a black and it just looked too dark against like kind of like the paler nude nail. And I tried a white and it just didn't do justice to the pigment. So I went with this kind of a brown color and it did kind of give it like a rosy copper type feel, and it looked really lovely. And the reason why I'm trying it the other way with just the color wiped off is because I like to do things quickly. I don't like extra steps. If I can do things like without having to like do a top coat or a buff, if I can just stamp over top of the color and just go from there and then top coat that, I think that's way more easier. And with this top coat, I think it's stained even more. So that was a bust. I think it might have to do more with the pigment because when I use higher quality pigments and chromes and stuff, they all worked really well. So this is the client I'm talking about. You can see it did stain a little bit, but it still looked really pretty and she wasn't bothered by it. So now I'm going in with that same color and I'm going to try the Brillbird Chrome. This is, I believe, vintage gold. And one thing I did notice is with this chrome, it kind of was a little grainy, but I feel like I could have got it smoother if I just would have let the polish dry for like a second longer. I almost went in a bit too quick, and I did find that with one other polish, which you will see later in the video. It still looks super stunning. Love it. And it does give a different finish than a gold stamping polish, I find. So now I'm going with my Wildflower Sugar Stacker, and I'm going with that teal chrome in the stacker. And with this one, I'm going on to the white nail, and I'm using Brisk Blue by Sally Hansen Insta Dry, and just going in quickly and super quick into that pigment and right over top of the polish. And it kind of looks like I got the white chrome as well, but as soon as I go over it with my finger, it comes right off that white. And focusing, and you can see it became like a super stunning chrome blue. Now, I'm like super in love with this technique because it really expands your collection honestly, so it expands your stamping polish collection. It gives you an excuse to use chromes you probably have sitting in your drawer and you're not really using that much anyway. So the white I used in this one was Clear Jelly Stamper, and this was another one I wish I would have let sit for like a second longer before I went in with the chrome. I almost was too fast. It still looks really good, and it almost gives like a platinum chrome kind of look. But as you can see, it's a touch grainy. So I feel like if I just would have let it sit a little bit longer, it's not as fast drying as the Sally Hansen ones, even though it is a very quick drying stamping polish. Now this one I just had to test out. I'm using my black cardigan over a black polish, and I'm using Invictus Chrome from Nove. And this one, you can't really see what's going on over the black on black until I give it that really good wipe and then go over with my finger just to kind of get the excess off. And it is so stunning. Wait till you see this one top coated. I can't even with it. It's so beautiful. So I really wanted to test out a bunch of different products. Now this is a flaky red chrome from AliExpress, and I wanted to see if it would work, and kind of stupidly I chose black, not thinking that the black on red might not show properly, but it worked really, really well. And so, like, bolstered by this, I decided to try it over white. So on with white, and then we go with Cinesnap by Sally Hansen again, and this is one of my favorite reds. If you want to see some of my favorite stamping polishes, check out my video with my top 25 affordable stamping polishes. This is definitely one of them. So I'm going over, and it did chrome up really nicely. One mistake that I did make was that I went over it just a bit too many times. I think I was worried about it being too chunky or not getting in some of those fine lines. And by doing that, I kind of created these little extra red dots on the white, which I'm not bothered by. I think it looks good still. But if it did bother you, just don't chrome it as aggressively, I guess. But I love the way these look. So now these are all top coated. Now this is the black and red one, which I feel like is very like a goth Christmas. I don't know. I love it. I'm living for it. It's a little bit more subtle because it's harder to see, but this is the red on the white, which I am definitely going to be making one of my clients get this. Probably like gold as well. I just think that would be so stunning. And this was the nail that kind of started it all. This was my very first test on a client, and I was hooked with that Big Apple red and then the Wildflower Silver Chrome. And then this is the Brill Bird over Bossy by Luxio. Super, super stunning. Loving it. And then this one, as you can see, it's like a tiny bit grainy, but it still looks really, really pretty. Like, I think this technique is just going to be so helpful to a lot of people. Oh my God, look at this one. Wait for it. Purple. Teal, and then like gold. Oh, I love these multi-shift chromes. I think they just look so stunning. And to have kind of this like super awesome black with a snowflake. Oh, I definitely have some clients that would totally go for that. And then this is the Wildflowers one over Polar by Luxio, and it is such a beautiful blue chrome. Alright, so that's everything all together. I really hope you enjoyed this technique. I think it's really quick and easy, very salon friendly. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.